So there's been a lot of talk about why the UFC is the only professional sport in the United States where the participants are allowed to say what they think. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with Dana White, who's just said we're allowing free speech, and God bless him for that. But it does seem like a big percentage of guys who fight at UFC are on your side politically. Why do you think that is?
I think they think that because they grew up in, this constitutional, great country of America, land of the free, home of the brave. And I think they've seen, just the toxicity that this woke agenda has caused people. A lot of us are shadow banned on some of the platforms. I'm not going to speak their name because they don't deserve that attention. But, when you start taking away free speech, that's a dangerous proposition.
Yeah.
There's no going back from that. So I think people just want to stand up for what they believe in and the rights that this country was founded upon.
That seems pretty basic and moderate and sensible to me.
Yeah, for the most part, but not to the swamp establishment and the lobbyists and politicians.
Why don't other sports do the same?
Because they're paid and bought for by China. You got people like LeBron James who, he makes all his money in his shoe deals in China with these women that are working for, pennies on the dollar in these sweatshops, and that's how he makes all his money, And then you got Travis Kelce, who's Mr. Pfizer, who's, telling people he's paid and bought for by Satan himself, pretty much. He sold his soul to the devil, and, he's telling people, get the double jab, Oh, if you get one jab, I'm not saying I'm for or against vaccines, but if you get one jab, shouldn't you make sure that it's safe and there's not going to be any side effects from that one? If you're getting two at the same time, how are you going to know which one's giving you side effects? So some of the most just atrocious, things that I've ever heard someone say.
So I was told by a number of people that criticizing LeBron James is racist, but you did it anyway.
He hates America, the country that gave him billions of dollars. He never stands up for America. He sits down during the national anthem. They're playing it for the people that fought and to protect this country and give us our freedom so we could have opportunities like LeBron. And here he is sitting for it, making a joke out of our national anthem and all the families out there that have to have suffering because they lost, some of their family members in war. And here he is just making a mockery of them and just slapping them in the face.
So, do you think if he wasn't getting paid, he would do that? I mean, do you think these are his real views, or he's just acting on behalf of someone else?
You can tell he's acting on behalf of someone else, and he's bought and paid for by the establishment, and pretty much whatever they tell him to do, he's just going to do that. He's a puppet to them.
So at some point, I don't know when it was, less than 10 years ago, somebody clearly decided, hey, NBA is really culturally influential, and we need to make sure that our message is delivered by the players at NBA. I mean, it's really obvious that happened.
Yeah.
UFC is on its way to eclipsing the NBA. I mean, I don't remember in the last year anyone talking about the NBA. Everyone's talking about the sport that you're in. Will that happen to you guys at some point, do you think?
No, I don't think so because, our leaders, Dana White and Hunter Campbell, they're believers in free speech and they don't put a muzzle on anybody. They tell everybody to think and stand on what you believe in, and we're not going to tell you how to think or act. You can do that on your own. But they went from being on the brink of not having a company to now they're a multi-billion publicly traded company. So I don't think they're ever going to do that. But, they believe in free speech. They believe in constitutional rights and everything that America stands for.
I was kind of surprised to learn that you've been doing this 14 years. That seems like a long time to be in a business this rough. Do you expect to be in it that long, and how did you do that?
Yeah, no, I didn't expect to be in it that long. I wanted to get in and get out, make a good living for myself, change, the structure that my family grew up in. We came from a blue-collar family in Oregon, and, I wanted to be able to break that trend and that mold and be able to become a multi-million-dollar famous athlete. I didn't care so much about the fame, but I just wanted the financial aspect, the freedoms from it, so I could live a good life. So didn't expect it to be this long, but I'm loving every second of it.
Are you really?
I still love it. I enjoy it, man. I enjoy all the hate, all the people that tell me that, I can't do something or, oh, you can't do this. Oh, you're going to get knocked out. We're going to do this to you. So I enjoy that. That's what drives me and gets me up early in the morning to work harder.
What's your life like day to day? What's your training regimen like?
So I train 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and then I'll train twice a day, 3 days out of the week, out of the 6 days. So do 2 a days, 3 days a week, and 6 days, just 1 a days.
How long is your training?
3 hours per training session.
Whoa. What does that consist of?
It consists of all the martial arts. I'll do kickboxing with one martial art, and then I'll do jiu-jitsu because you have to practice submissions, and then I'll do some wrestling, and then I'll do strength and conditioning to make sure my conditioning's in peak form.
How long have you been doing that?
For 14 years. Ever since I got out of college, I went straight into MMA, and I wanted to make a better life for myself. So this was the only professional sport. Wrestling, it's like you can go to the Olympics and try and be an Olympic athlete, but those people make about the same amount of money as the person that's flipping burgers outside here.
For real.
So I wanted to be a professional athlete and be able to really change my financial future.
6 days a week for 14 years.
Yeah.
Do you like it? That part of it?
I love it. You know, I think that's my purpose. I feel like that's why God put me on this earth to chase my dreams and, you know, work hard and push my body and my mind to the limit. Not just my body, but it's a mental thing. And I feel like fighting is a lot of mental. It's, you know, if the thoughts that you put in your head are really, you can manifest a lot of things in this sport, but you can also bring yourself down. You know, if you're thinking negative thoughts, you know, you're probably not going to have positive results.
So what are the things that you do to keep yourself strong inside, to keep yourself fearless?
You know, I think about, you know, the people that are the real heroes and celebrities of this country, people like law enforcement, people in military.
Yep.
And I think about what their day-to-day lives are. There's no holidays for war. You know, these people are serving these politicians and fighting these politicians' wars overseas, but they don't get like a Christmas holiday for war. No, they have to go over there and protect these people and protect our country and keep us free and safe here. So I think about their life and their lifestyle. And I have a lot of friends in military. You know, my buddy Stephen Hodson, who's a first sergeant for the Army Rangers, and he's with the skydiving team right now. And I just think about like what he's had to go through in Afghanistan and Iraq and all these different wars that he's been in. And that's what makes me think about my life's easy, man. I get to do something I love every day. This is my passion, to get up and train every single day. So how could I ever complain about my passion, something I love, when I have someone who's fighting for our country? And, you know, all he knows is he's standing for the red, white, and blue in our country's flags and colors. But he's fighting these politicians' senseless wars, but he's doing it. You know, he's raising his hand saying, "I want to do it because I love my country."
That's amazing. I mean, one of the differences though between what you do and what he does is when you step into the ring, you know for dead certain there's going to be violence aimed at you.
Yep.
And pretty real violence. Anyone who's watched it knows it's not a joke. It's not professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You could get really, really hurt or killed, actually. So how do you keep the fear at bay?
You know, I always told myself growing up, there's only one man or one thing that I'm ever going to fear, and that's God. So, you know, I feel like God has a plan for me, and he put me here for a reason, to have a platform and to be able to give it back to the people that deserve it most, such as first responders, military, and, you know, our troops that protect us every single day. So, you know, I don't think about what could happen, like the bad side of it. I think about how I could change my life and what good I could do with it. Because, you know, I don't just want to get. I want to be able to give. And, you know, I'm starting up a nonprofit, you know, to benefit first responders and military, and to be able to give back to those people is like more important to me than how I feel or my selfish, you know, fears in life.